it's huge, it's massive, it's the world's largest. And then all the other activities are kind of supplemental, even the restaurant, the bar.
We're offering so much, and we want to increase a higher rate of return. We want to make sure there's something at Supercharged for everyone to enjoy.
Hey, we are back. Bob Cooney here at the VIVE Theatre, courtesy of HTC. Thank you, HTC, for being here and supporting our industry, and first headset manufacturer to actually invest in being here to meet with everybody in the industry and learn more. And part of that is they've been brave enough to invite operators up here. Let me invite operators out here to cut through the crap and understand more from the entire ecosystem of location-based entertainment. Is, you know, what's the experience been with VR? What's working, what's not working, and what do we need to do better as an industry to improve, to continue to move forward? Because, you know, I believe that, and I believe there's evidence, and we've all done our first VR experience, right? And it's hard. Do you remember your first? Well, let me do the introductions first. So Michael Dawson, Cody Browning from Supercharged Entertainment. You guys, well, why don't you, Cody, you say it better than anybody. Talk about Supercharged. Tell them what it is.
Well, thank you, Bob. So Supercharged Entertainment, first of its kind, largest indoor multi-level karting track in the world. Of course, we're much more than just karting at this point. We are an all-inclusive indoor entertainment experience. We offer indoor attractions ranging from Ninja Wipeout, virtual reality, massive arcades, axe throwing, etc., etc. But really, we're just more about providing the immersive entertainment experience.
And so you're anchored by this giant karting facility. How does that affect who your clientele mix is? Like, you know, like you get a certain psychographic and demographic profile because you're anchored by this giant karting center, right?
Well, absolutely. What's wonderful about what our facilities do is providing that full gamut of entertainment for the wide range of not just those who will participate, but those who want to spectate and just be part of the experience. You know, we internally, we say all the time, right, Mike? We provide an experience from ages 5 to 75. Regardless, not everything for everyone, but something for everyone.
Can you guys hear okay? Is it coming through? All right, cool. And so what I was going to say before is, like, do you guys remember your first HD TV experience?
It's been a while.
You don't remember? So I remember mine was watching a soccer game. It was during the World Cup. And I then had to go back, and I was using DirecTV, and some channels were HD and some weren't.
Yeah.
And I remember immediately, like, I had to go back and watch regular standard definition television after watching HD, and I just couldn't do it. Like, it was painful for me to do it. And we were just talking to Todd Monsell from Synergy Entertainment earlier, and he was talking about when people, you know, they put on that headset for the first time, and they have that immersive experience, and it blows their mind. It always does. Even a shitty one is better than anything they've ever done. And so now all of a sudden, you know, you're asking them to come out and go back to this kind of 2D video entertainment experience, and as more and more people have more and more VR experiences, that's going to get to be a harder and harder sell. And so I want to kind of, it's a little bit of a theme of what I want to talk to you guys about, because it seems like you're actually committed to VR. Michael, you just hosted me in New Jersey location, and so let's start there. What VR do you have, and what's been your experience to date, and then we'll talk about where it might go.
Well, I'll let you talk more about what we have in our New Jersey facility, but we've always been really hesitant with the VR market. Where others were more into being the guinea pigs of the industry, we've all been there, we've all had that experience. And when VR was really rolling out, we kind of held back. We said, we don't want to be the guinea pigs of this. And I think we made the right choice. There has been a lot of improvement over the years with the VR experience and the technology. So we definitely held back on that. We're actually looking this year in one of our locations to add some new VR attractions. And then we have some existing games that we play in our VR arena here at our Edison, New Jersey location. Mike, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we have like SpongeBob, the small SpongeBob, virtual rabbits.
When you say the small one, that's the Relix Andamiro one?
Yeah, the one that doesn't
the
really
brand new
move,
unit.
We have the Zombieland, and then what's the one with the guns?
Synth Rider and VR Agent.
Synth Rider and VR Agent.
And so those are all unattended VR, kind of their simulator, kind of coasters is a category, and then you've got VR Agent and Zombieland, and Synth Riders are more kind of arcade, more traditional arcade shooter games.
Exactly. Yeah, we've mostly pushed towards those attendant-free attractions. Definitely more of the arcade arena. Things like the King Kong VR, the virtual rabbits and such. It won't be till this year, though, that we debut an attended VR attraction, which we've made that decision to go forward with. Again, still with some mixed hesitation. We hope we're not making a mistake.
Yeah. So, and I noticed well, can we talk about what that is? Is that public information? Are you willing to share that, or?
Yeah. So we'll be installing HyperDeck at our location, as well as Limitless VR from Creative Works.
Interesting. So HyperDeck, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know if it's here at the show. It was here a couple of years ago. It's a 4-player attraction, and it's got like high-speed wind and heat and
motion floor.
6 degrees of motion floor.
Kind of like a 4D VR experience.
Yeah, it's quite an extreme experience. And so you also have a ride. I saw in the New Jersey, you have that big like go up and down ride thingy, which is an attended attraction. Like, how do you see HyperDeck versus that like ride?
We measure the throughput. So that's an attended ride, but the throughput is 12 people every 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
what can you charge for that ride?
We charge $9 for
$9.
the tower ride.
Okay. For how long is it?
3-minute ride.
For a 3-minute ride. And what do you think you're going to charge for HyperDeck?
HyperDeck, we have that priced at $10.
For how long?
It's about a 7 to 10 minute experience. 4 players at a time.
So why are you willing to charge $3 a minute for a carnival ride that everyone's done before, and for like this ridiculously immersive extreme experience, you're only willing to charge about $1.50 a minute?
We know that we could probably charge more, and obviously we're able to put fewer people through that. But we're looking at it as much more of an auxiliary attraction. And the tower ride as well is an auxiliary attraction. The one is part of the arcade experience, and the HyperDeck will be a standalone scheduled attraction.
I think there's been suppliers coming into the industry. They don't actually understand that there's a share of wallet issue that you're up against when somebody comes to your facility and they're going to do karting, and they're going to buy food, and they're going to buy arcade games, and there's only so much you're going to pull out of that wallet or purse, right?
And that's a very good point. You know, we're not looking to necessarily get every penny out of every person, because we're offering so much, and we want to increase a higher rate of return. And by offering those additional auxiliary attractions, we're helping to improve the overall experience, not just that per person penny pinch.
So let's talk about Limitless. I'm really excited about Limitless VR, which I think uses the Striker rifle, which is on display here.
Yeah, we're excited for it too.
Do you guys have laser tag at